morning, class.
Good morning, Miss McClaugherty.
Today we're going to be talking about prime and composite numbers.
What's prime and composite numbers?
Prime is a number that can only be divided evenly by 1 in itself. And a composite number is a counting number other than 1 that is not prime, meaning it can be divided by 2 or more numbers. So we're going to be talking about the number 503. We divide 503 to check whether it's a prime or composite number. And to do that, we start by dividing it. Yep.
Oh, no, you're not telling me.
No.
I just want to know what we're dividing, right?
Okay. We're going to divide 503 by a list of prime numbers in order from least to greatest. So we started with 2. Now 2 is a prime number. So I'm going to explain why that is so. So we're going to divide 2 by 1. How many times does 1 go into 2?
2.
So we're going to put that at the top, and then 2 times 1,
2.
and then 2 goes down here. Now, we're going to subtract 2 minus 2.
0.
Because it's 0, 2 is a whole number, so it can only be divided by 1 and 2, which is itself.
Oh, okay.
And a composite number, let's give an example of 4. How many times does 2 go into 4?
2.
So we put that up there, and 2 times 2?
4.
And 4 minus 4?
0.
0. So 1 can go into 4, 2 can go into 4, and 4 can go into 4, which makes it a composite number.
That makes sense.
So now I made a list of the prime numbers, which are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, and 23. And the list keeps going on, but I stopped there, and I'll explain why we stopped there when we get to the end. So we divided it by each one by 503. And if you notice on each one, there's a decimal. And everything after the decimal, you know that it's prime because that number cannot be divided into it evenly. Phone's up. So I'm going to explain how we divided into 503 by 5. 5 goes into 5 one time, and 5 times 1 is 5. When we subtract it, 5 minus 5 is 0, and then we bring down the following number, which is 0. Now, can 5 go into 0?
No. Yes.
No.
No number can go into 0.
Very good, Chelsea. So now we're going to bring down the next one, being a 3. Can 5 go into 3? No. So now we have to add a decimal, meaning it is not divisible by it evenly. So then we continued by going through all of that. Now when we got to 23, something interesting happened. We're going to compare this answer to this one. Now, is 11 or 45.7, which one's bigger?
45.7.
And that's on top, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we got to 23, which one's bigger, 23 or 21.8? And now it's on the left.
Mm-hmm.
So when it shifts from being on the top as the answer to being the one it's divisible by, you know that you can stop, and that if one number previous was not divided into evenly, then you now know that 503 is prime.
So, because nothing will go into it evenly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we know that we don't need to continue on to the next prime number, being 29, because this number being smaller than this one flipped, so you know that that is your stopping point. Whenever the one that you're dividing by is smaller than your answer, you have to keep going. And that shows you your stopping points at the end.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.